Okay, guys. Today we are going to see architecture of Inception Net. So, what is Inception Net? So, basically, first understand what is Inception. Many of you familiar with the movie of Inception, movie called Inception by Leonardo DiCaprio. So, in his movie, you may have seen that. Uh, he is seeing dream, and in his dream he's a dreaming, and vice versa. It is like a very nested thing. He's a dreaming in his dreaming. So from that concept, inception net is you can say that the name is inception is come from that uh, concept, which is a dreaming concept. So what is actually inception? So if you see in our traditional object detection algorithm like LeNet, AlexNet, then VG16, even in a ResNet, you will see that information, whatever we getting information, we are extracting information like one after another, after another, and so on. So Inception Net is one of the popular method, popular algorithm which extract information in a parallelly. So it is when we are doing like a one after another, it is like it extract whole information in a one, you can say one push. So if I give you some brief information about the history of Inception Net. First, I will give you like a brief information about the history of Inception Net, and after that, I will give you what is Inception Net. I will give you some overview of research paper that is research paper of Inception Net. So basically, Inception Net is also called as Google Net, which have 22 layers, and it won to it 2040 ILSVRC championship, which is like ImageNet championship. So those who don't know what ImageNet competition is, a ImageNet competition is one of the biggest competition in a deep learning field. So many of inventions, many of a new algorithm are discovered in that ImageNet competition, which have like a very huge amount of data, and algorithm have to prove themselves that they are performing well on that much of a huge data. Basically, it is like a thousand class classification problem. So let's see what Inception Net is. So Inception Net is basically uh, it's aim to it's aim to it's aim to improve information, improve the like whatever we are getting information from image. It is like extracting whole information in a one step. It is applying one by one matrix. There are 3 by 3, 5 by 5 matrix at a one time. It is applying in a one time. I will show you in a figure wise. So basically you can stop this screen and you can read this whole information, and you will get the idea of what is Inception Net is. So maybe I will show you some figure where you can find what Inception Net is. So okay, so as you see in this screen, so this is like a new version of Inception Net, which is like basically when Inception Net come into picture. So at the first time Inception Net working like this. If you see here, so after Google make it Google introduced optimization of Inception. So after that it is like improved version of this. So why like first understand the concept of Inception. So then we will see the why Google added this one by one convolution layer before applying traditional new version of Inception Net. So first, what Inception Net is as you see in this picture, what Inception Net you can tell you here is suppose I have a matrix of uh, I have a matrix of 28 by 28 by 196. Okay, so I have a matrix of 28 by 28 by 196, and this is matrix come from input layer. So I have suppose I will show you in a paint annotation. Okay, so suppose I have input layer over here. Suppose something like this is like a suppose this is my input image, and after that we are adding some we are adding some filter on it, and we are getting some information like this. We have we having a, size of 28 by 28, sorry for handwriting, of 196 suppose. So this is having a size of 28 by 28, and it is having a depth of 190 196. So this information we are passing over here. And what job of Inception Net is, it is uh, it have to extract whole information at a one time. So suppose I pass this 28 by 28 by 196 of depth of this tensor in as an input to this layer, which is input layer for this Inception Net. So what Net do is it perform whole task. It perform like one by one convolution, three by three, five by five, and max pooling at the same time. So it take some 68 uh, tensor from this 28 by 28, and it perform one by one. Then it take like a next 50 tensors of 28 by 28 from here, and it perform 3 by 3 convolution. It takes some 20 uh, 28 by 28 convolution, sorry, tensors from here, and it perform 5 by 5 convolution, and the remaining it take and perform 3 by 3 max pooling. And whatever we perform here, okay, so whatever we perform operation over here, it passes, it concatenate it, like add concatenate. Concatenation is nothing but adding, so it add over here. So if I get 20 by 20 at 60, plus suppose 50, plus suppose 50, and whatever remaining, like 38. So we get the same size of a convolution over here, which having a size of a 28 by 28, and having a depth of like a 198. So we can get over here. So this is like a 28 by 28 and depth of 192. Okay, so we get such a matrix output from these like convolutions. So what uh, what is advantage over here is you are not losing information. Okay, so you are passing 28 by 28 with the same padding. Because of a same padding, you are getting the same output over here, so size of 28 by 28. And one more advantage is you are getting a maximum information over here. So you are performing a 1 by 1, 3 by 3, 5 by 5, and max pooling. So you are performing the whole thing at once. But what you are doing is, how you are performing, you are performing by splitting this input. Whatever input you are getting here, suppose I have image, as I told you, I have image, I have performed some operation on that image, and suppose I perform uh, I perform like a max pooling before this. I perform anything I should perform. I will show you in my next slide that what operation we perform before this. But just understand, this is an image, and we are applying some max pooling, or you can say some convolution, and we are getting some tensor like 28 by 28 by 198 of depth. So size of 22, 28 by 22, and depth of 198. So whatever we are getting here, we are simply performing convolution and we are concatenating over here. So what advantages of this is, we are not losing information, we are getting the same matrix as we are doing the same padding. So one more thing, just you have to note that we are applying the same padding, and because of we are applying the same padding, we are getting the same matrix over here. So we are having a 28 cross 28 size, and we are getting a 28 cross 28 size. So maybe depth, so whatever you see, depth is going to change. Okay, so if I have 28 cross 28, and suppose depth of, okay, this is not, okay, 28 cross 28, okay, suppose this is 28, 28 cross 28, and whatever depth is changing, so depth is not like affecting on our like our tensors. Depth is not affecting because we are concatenating over here. So for concatenation, we must have those kind of a tensor which having the same height and same width. Depth is going to automatically increase and decrease. Suppose you are performing one by one, you are getting the same depth and sorry, same kind of a matrix. 28 by 20 as you are performing, you are getting the same because of a padding, and you are getting the same in a depth because you are performing a one by one. So each pixel you are getting over here, but here you are losing some information because of 28 by 28. But depth, understand this, your depth is not going, sorry, your height and your width is not going to change. Your depth is going to change, but in concatenation operation, it's always happen on a 28, sorry, on a height and width which is 28 by 28, this our size. So Google come with a one more optimization on this. So what Google do is, what Google come with is, Google come with a one more optimize, applying one more step on this of a new version. So Google just added a one by one convolution before this 3 by 3 and 5 by 5. So what happen over here is, suppose if I am performing this operation, so just think how much operation I am performing. So if I told you that, if I say you that I am getting a 120 million, okay, I am getting a 120 million computation operation over here. I'm performing 120 million computation operation over here, and I'm performing only 12 million, okay, 12 million operation over here, computation operation over. So such, so let's think about this. So because of this one by one convolution, I will tell you that how it is reduced its computation and all that thing. But just think about this. Before this one by one convolution, we are performing 120 million of computations, and after that we are just performing 12 million computations. So just think about this, how much different it is, how much different it is like a 108 millions of a difference. So we are skipping 120 108 million computation. Okay, so we are, so just think about this, how much computation we are saving by just applying one by one convolution. Okay, so this is Google come with, this is a like initial version, this is like origin, and this is like a next version of this origin. So this is Google come with this, and net Google net having a 22 layers, which is like having a, which having this kind of architecture. So Google Inception Net having this kind of architecture, but initially it like started like this, and this is like a next improved version of this. So I will tell you that how Google come with like sorry. Okay, how Google come with this this concept. So Google okay, so before telling you that, before going to like how Google come with this, like I would like to tell you that how computation is going to happen. Tensors, how tensor multiplication is going to happen. I will tell you that. So if you go to Sudhansh, like this Ashok Kumar's blogs, so he explained in a like a really nice way. So this is slides come from Andrew Ng's lectures, one of the knowing personality in the data science field. So how Google Net, as I told you, like how competition is performing. Let's take a look over here. So we have 28 cross 28 cross 192 matrix. Okay, so we are adding a one by one convolution over here. We are adding a one more convolution over here, and we are adding a max pooling over here. So why we are not doing why we are not applying this convolution before a max pooling? So if you apply, if you reverse this, if you apply convolution first and apply max pooling after that, so you will get to know that you will losing some kind of information. So here we don't have to, we have to extract information as much as we can. So that's why we are just doing this operation. We can perform this so operation before this, but think just think once. So why we are performing that max pooling before this, just you have to think that. Okay, it's your job. So just think that why we are performing this before and this later, so we can perform this is like a vice versa. But again, as I told you, the computation, if I perform this before this 5 by 5 before this, so you will get to know that computation is like going to miserably huge. So if you, if you take a look here, why we are performing, because we don't have, we have to extract the maximum feature over here, and this is like a computation that you can afford, because you have to extract something. But this computation you are not affording, because you are getting the same information by one matrix, one by one matrix. But here you have to extract some core feature by doing a max pooling. So we are performing the whole thing in a one shot. So this is things happening parallelly. And how addition is going to happen, I will tell you that. So we are applying one by one, uh, we are just applying one by one convolution of 64 convolution we are applying on a 28 by 28 image. So if you see 28 by 28, we are applying 64 one by convolution. So you will see that here, that we are having a 28 by 28 64 matrix. So whatever you are applying over here, you are getting as it is by just getting, but number is going to change over here. So first 64 matrix, okay, so from 192 you are applying on one uh, you are applying on a 64 matrix, 64 matrix of a one by one. Okay, so 28 by 28 by 64, so you are getting 28, this is size of 28 by 28. And you are having like a, if you see this green area, you will find out that this is a 64 of one by one matrix information that you extracted from this tensor 28 by 28 by 192. So again we are performing the same one by one convolution over here. We have a one by one of a 96 convolution over here. So 28 by 28 by 196, and we are having a same convolution padding, we are having the same. So we are having the same convolution of a 3 by 3 size. And here we are having a 128 of these 3 by 3 convolutions. So you are getting like a 64. Now you are getting a 128. The same thing, 28 you have. You are performing one by one on this, from 192 you are performing on a 60 16 tensor, you are performing one by one. You are performing again on this one by one, 5 by 5, and you are getting like a 28 by 28 by 32. So just why you are getting 32 here, just think about that. Why you are getting 32, I will give you just a hint. Suppose I will give you hint about this first one. You will get to know what is happening over here. So you have 28 by 28. Okay, you have 192 of this tensor. Okay, you have 28 by 28, 192 tensor, and you are applying a one by one. Okay, how many one by one you are applying? You are applying 64. So what you are getting, 28 by 28, and it is count as 64. So you have a tensor size of a 28 by 28. Okay, so this is 28, this is 28, and what is the depth? Depth is a 64. So this is how convolution is going to happen, and at the end it is concatenating. As you're seeing how concatenate it is. So you having a size is having a like a 28 by 28, because you're having the same padding, but depth is going to change. And it is when you do concatenation, so you have to same height and same width. Depth is going to change. Depth is not uh, depth is not going to affect your concatenation, but yes, height and width is going to like it should be same. If you want to if you want to perform concatenation, you have to same height and same width. Depth, change in the depth is valid, so there is a no issue of that. So if you saw this here, so we having the same tensor over here. Okay, so we are performing directly this is like a neo traditional method. So you can refer this blog. So if you once you read this blog, you will get to know that you will easily get uh, you will get easily that what is happening in inception, in inception. So as I told you, we are using a one by one matrix over here. So this method, so we have 28 by 28, 192 of them performing one by one. What you are getting, 28 by 16. So same matrix you are getting over here, and whatever you are getting over here, so again you are getting the same, you having same padding, you are getting a 28 by 28 of a matrix 32 times. So 28 by 28, 32 times. So this is a simple hack. You can memorize how uh, like uh, uh, tensor size is changing with respect to convolution that you are applying. So height and width, and number of kernels, height and width, number of kernels. So you are getting the same output. Okay, so whatever height, whatever kernel size, you are getting the same. Whatever height, whatever kernel size, you are getting the same. So this operation, as you see here, you having a depth of if you see depth is like a 192, and you are getting a 16 of depth in a next uh, like a next operation, and again you are getting a 32. So if you see this some kind of shape over here, so if you see shape of this kind of a shape that this is making, so this is like some curlish shape of some kind of a bottleneck. So this layer is also called as a bottleneck layer. So just this kind of architecture, because if you see over here, so you are getting some neck kind of a shape. So this is one more thing that you can remember uh, in you can remember about inception network. So I will show you some huge architecture of a convolution. So maybe, okay. So this is tradition method. I have shown you that how traditional method are improved by Google by just adding a simple one by one matrix, and it save our computation to 120 million. It is reduced our computation from 120 million to 12 million. So this is one thing that you should remember. Uh, so I will show you the architecture of Inception Net. It is one of the architecture. Okay, so this is a huge architecture of Inception Net, but remember that if you know the basics, this is like nothing for you. It's just like a simplest one of the simplest architecture you should remember. Okay, so I will increase some size. Okay, okay. As I told you, you having a simple image. Okay, so you're having a simple image, you are applying a 7 cross 7 of convolution layer with a stride equal to 2. Okay, and you are getting a you are after applying, you are getting some information, you are passing to the max pool 3 by 3 of a max pool with a stride 2, and you are doing a local responsive uh, sorry L oh, sorry guys, sorry for that, just give me a moment, my mouse is falling down. Okay, so this layer is called a local response normalization. As you know that many of you, so many of those who don't know what is response normalization is. So if you have a tensor of some height and width, so suppose this is your one single pixel. Okay, so from this to this, from one by one, this is a one pixel, you are normalizing the whole pixel which is come in depth of this one pixel. So this is like your tensor 1, tensor 2, tensor 3, tensor 4, tensor 5, and so on. You are normalizing like a whole depth of one pixel. You are normalizing the whole depth of one pixel. And what you do in a batch normalization, you normalize the whole, you normalize the whole tensor at once. So this is like a difference that you can remember between a local normalization. So you are performing LRN operation over here. After that, you are performing a one by one convolution, then three by three convolution, then again you are performing a LRN operation, which is local normalization, and after that you are applying a 3 by 3 max pool of a stride 2, and here you see you are performing the same inception. Okay, so whatever you are doing from now, you can see that this first some filter and some convolution and some max pooling you are performing with with the local response normalization with LRN, you can say, and after that you are performing your first inception. So as you know that inception having a one by one of size, one inception perform by one convolution matrix. So we are applying one by one, one by one, one by one, but if you want to perform max pooling, we perform max pooling first, and then we perform a one by one convolution. This apply later, because we don't have to lose some core information which is required for a max pool, which is we don't want to lose uh, like a main some key information from this particular input. So here we are get here we are, if you compare from computation, why we are not doing this and why we are doing this. It is computationally expensive. It is bit computationally it is not too much expensive, it is bit expensive, but we can afford this because we don't want to lose some we don't have to uh, apply one by one convolution to we don't consider the computation as idle. We compare we consider computation as well as information as idle. That's why we are here sacrificing uh, information, but here we are sacrificing computation. So this is a simple thing, then again concatenation, then again a simple thing, one by one convolution, one by one convolution, max pooling, and some convolution layers, 5 by 5, 1 by 1, 5 by 1 by 1, 3 by 3, 5 by 5, 1 by 1. So again we are concatenating over here, then again same thing we are doing, nothing change. As I go up, as I go up, as I go up, you will see the concatenation over here. And now this part, just remember this part. So if you see here, you will find out some output. You will see some output layer that output functions of softmax you will see here. So why this is come into picture? So I will tell you that for now, just you just look the structure. Okay, look at the structure of this uh, look at the structure of this Google net. Okay, or Inception net, whatever you say, meaning is the same. So look at the structure, we are performing the same. It is nothing is going to change, we're having the same inception over here when concatenating, same inception, concatenating, same inception, concatenating, then one more output layer here, same inception, concatenating, same inception, concatenating, and output. So now I will tell you that why we are giving a softmax function like this. Okay, so if I minimize this, okay, so it is not going to be in one frame, so maybe I will zoom it a bit. So if you see over here, we are getting one output here, second output is here, third output is here. So why this concept come into picture? So as you see in a traditional or earlier version of image detection algorithm like VG16, AlexNet, or ResNet, you will find out that they're having a, we are having only one output layer. Okay, so at there we having only one output layer, but here we having like a three different output layers. So why these three output layer introduced in a Google net? This is like a question that comes into mind. Why should we don't use only one output layer over here? So first thing, suppose you're having a data. Okay, you're having some data set, and your data set is small. I don't just small data set, whatever number. So just you having think about that, you having a small data set. So if you if you train your whole model on a this much of a huge data, so your model is going to be like overfit. So look at this model, how depth it is. If you see here, so like it is not only in a depth, you can say in like a if you seen how parallelly how it is huge, and it is how in a height, you can say that how you can see that how huge it is. So if you having a small data set, and if you are training a or whole model on this much of depth, this much of a uh, deep convolution neural a deep convolution neural network. So if you are feeding a small data on this much of a huge uh, neural network, convolution neural network, so your model is going to of course your model is going to be overfitted, and you don't want to your model to be overfitted. That's why this picture, this softmax, this output layer come into picture. If you having a small data set, so what it's gonna do, it's gonna use only this much, this much part. Okay, from I will show you, from this, from this to, okay, on it is going to use only this much of a part from down, from here you can see it is going to use only this much of a part from, this is like output layer for this, and this is like a, when we are starting from here, so this is like a input layer. Okay, okay, so it is going to use only this much of a part from starting to this output. So it is going to use only this part, it is not going to use the whole network. Suppose you having a some bigger data set, then it is going to use only this part. And suppose you having a huge data set, it is going to be like train on a whole uh, inception net. So this is this is one of the thing that like introduced by Google Net. So if you're having a small data set, if you have an image by, if you have an image size by 100 by 100, you will this you will get output here. If you're having a 200 by 200, okay, so you will get output from here. If you have 400 by 400, so you will get output over here. So this is just like an example, this is not an idle state, or this is not like a right example to told you, but in a layman term you can understand like this. If you have a smaller data set to train your model, so for your model is not going to, for the for understanding of a model is not going to fit, or you, so, or in other word I can say that if you uh, want, if you don't want to your model get overfitted, so this is why this whole things come into picture. Okay, so this is just like this is this thing will train on your size of a data set. So if you have a huge, it will use like a whole structure. If you have like a medium, or like a some like a middle kind of a data set, middle size of a data set, medium size of a data set, it will use this. Or if you have a smaller, it will use this. So these are the concept that inception net are come with. So that's why inception net is like a become a very popular in nowadays. So many of new algorithm come into picture, but inception net get improved with respect to time, with the time. So inception net having a very different kind of a models. So inception net having a if I show you over here, so maybe somewhere up, inception net come with resnet. Inception net come with some other model, version 1, version 2. Okay, so this is like a inception at v1, that's why it is not showing us the uh, information of that thing. So inception net having some other type also. So some of the types are like okay, some of the types are resnet with inception net. If I go to the uh, uh, official like a documentation of keras, if I go to documentation of inception net, keras, in keras application, so you will see that how like inception net, okay, resnet inception net having a two model over here, Inception Net V3 and Inception V3 and Inception ResNet V2. It having only two model here because these model are more popular. But if I go to one more site on like I will search for Inception model zoo. GitHub. Okay, Inception model zoo. Okay, so this is like official from TensorFlow. So you can see here. So Inception having this much this much model. Okay, where it got? Okay, Inception. So Inception having this much of a model. You can see here Inception ResNet V2, like Inception ResNet V2. It's like having a different version of a model. So you can just have like a mask RCNN of a Inception ResNet version 2. So it is trained on a Coco data. Okay. So as you see here, you will see that model, which model it is, like a core model of that, and you will see the version of that, and you will see the data set over here. So this kind of a thing you can take a look over here. So what is going on, it is like a SSD over here, it have like a faster RCNN over here, and so on. So you have to just take a look of any Inception net. So if I go to like this. Okay, maybe it is something happening. Oh, it's giving a rar file, it is not showing the links of that. So model 1, model 2. So it is giving the option to download your model. So maybe you can go with that. But if you want to explore the model, you have to just download this model, and whatever you will see that this model having in like a form of sorry. So before going to rather than going to that model, you have to just go with Inception V1 GitHub. Just go to model. Just go to GitHub. Okay, these are the issue kind of a thing. Okay, So maybe you should explore more uh, rather than uh, going to by search. So if you see like okay, so okay, inception model. So inception model. So inception model. So so this model are trained on Coco dataset, as I told you. Coco is one of the popular dataset. But one more thing, that how you gonna tell your colleague or your manager that you are going to use this particular model as your idle model. So whenever you do that, whenever you want to select a model, so you have to just make sure about that. You have to make sure about, you have to one make sure about one thing, that is like a benchmark score. Suppose you are uh, you are like a finalize of one model, so you have to tell your manager or your colleague that why you choose this particular model as your why you are selecting this model. First of all, tell me that what is this model having a feature, why you are using v2, why not v1, why not v3, why not v4. So always like a always remember that whenever someone asks you that why you are using some particular model, so you have a benchmark score. So if you say benchmark score over here, so VGG having this much of a benchmark score, so it is having 7% of 7.32 of error rate of it is top 5. So whatever top 5 so as you know, concept of a checkpoint, from that checkpoint concept it extract the top 5 elements. So this is like a top 5 error rate for VGG, and this is error rate for Google Net or Inception. So this is Inception 1 with the 22 layers. So remember, always remember that. So whatever you are choosing, you have to make sure about uh, your benchmark score. So benchmark score is given by your data set. Suppose it is ImageNet data set, it is a Coco data set, or it is a walking person image data set, or any data set. So you have to just make sure that whatever you are choosing as your finalized model, so you have to give the cause. So cause, and you have to mention, you have to must mention that because of this, because of this criteria, because of this benchmark, that I am going to choose this particular algorithm. So there are many types of inception net. So as if I show you some, so this is one type of inception net which I shown you, like this is like a dimensionality reduction step that I have shown you. So this is dimensionality reduction. Okay, so we are reducing a dimensionality over here. So this is dimensionality reduction, you can say that. Or you having other concept of inception. So one of them is like skip connection, as RaceNet having like a RaceNet inception net which having a skip connection. As you can see, I will show you one image. So okay, so as you see over here, so you have a ReLU. Okay, so you have a ReLU. You are, what you are doing is, you have a ReLU activation function. What you are doing, you are not going here, you are just supplying this input to this next function. So this is like a skip connection that you are going, you are just uh, what do you say, you are just supplying this particular input to this sorry, you are supplying particular this input to this next ReLU activation function, if only if this is not contributing. Okay, so only if this is not contributing, otherwise you are going to go in a this, like you are going to follow this direction. If it is contributing, it is going to be in a this direction. This is called uh, like identity skip connection also it is called. So these are the thing that you have to remember. So no one going to ask you that tell me about each and every inception net model. So basically you have to remember this particular concept. Okay, I'm showing you. So this is like core of this is like heart of like inception net. So you have to remember this. You have to make sure why size is not 28 by 28, why it is not reducing, why it is not reducing, because of we are applying the same padding. So you have to make sure about that. And as well as you have to remember you have to just remember some other type why what is a race inception network, what is like a bn inception, it is like a batch normalization. So as you see we having in a v1 like v1 called google net, we are applying lrn as you see in this particular architecture. Okay, so as you see here, so we are applying LRN, local normalization, local response normalization, and batch normalization. We are applying a batch normalization. But when we are applying a batch normalization, whenever we are applying a batch normalization in a like a inception v2, okay, this is particularly for inception v2, because we are reduced, we are before we are using a dropout layer, and after applying a batch normalization we just remove drop in v1 we are using a dropout layer, but in v2 we are remove dropout layer because it is not contributing, we are using some unnecessary computation. That's why we are reducing or we are freezing in v1, we are freezing uh, some neurons, some rather than seeing neurons we are freezing some weights. Okay, in by applying a dropouts we are freezing some weights, we are not, because we don't want to them contribute, which is not contributing, we are freezing them. Okay, and in v2 we are removing that dropout layer, and we are letting that we are just letting let them wait update themselves, we are just letting them wait update themselves. Okay, so these are the some core difference that you can remember. So these are the some things about inception net. So there are there are many models of inception net. So as I told you, google net, batch normalization inception called as a v2, google net called as a v1, and inception net v3 over there. ResNet inception is called v4 inception. ResNet having a model of a version 2 with batch normalization. So there are some details over there. So you have to just make sure about that detail. What is removing from like version 1, what is adding in a version 2. There are small details which is like important details, but the core heart of inception net is this. So if you know what is going on here, so you will like remember inception net as like a expert, you will become expert like as quickly. So this uh, I will refer you this blog of Ashok Kumar. He explained really nicely what is bottleneck, what is like a inception module. So this is one more you can see it, take a look over here from a whole architecture of google net. And you can go to this uh, you can go to this particular website called archive.org. So what you can do is here you can see the you on this website you will find out the maximum research paper nowadays are coming to this website archive.org. And if you want to see the what date it is come, so it is like a 2040 of September 2040. Okay, it is 09 is September month, and 14 is year. So you will find out the many research paper over here. So this is all from my side, guys. Hope you like this session. Okay, so maybe we will see you in a maybe I will see you in a next session, and hope you are I wish you all the best to your career. If you are a beginner of data science, I will wish you like a very much bright career, very much I will wish you growth in your career. Okay, that's all from my side, guys. Thank you